Students in the Daytona State College Broadcast Television Production Associate of Science degree work as production crew members in the following program.
Welcome, everyone. A Saturday afternoon in March, and March Madness in full effect on campus this afternoon at Daytona State College and inside the Lemoran Center. What's better than college basketball on a Saturday afternoon in March? And a great matchup this afternoon. Daytona State, the women's team, as they play host to St. Petersburg College, the Titans, winners of 10 straight. Alongside my partner, Ted Sofianos, I'm Tom James. Welcome aboard, everyone, and an exciting game today, but a stiff challenge for the Falcons against this red-hot Titans team.
Oh, when you say red-hot, you're not kidding around. The St. Pete Titans have been looking great. Obviously, only one loss in the entire season. But, you think about what happened on February 8th. Daytona State was within 4 points, got there, but, let's just say they lost that one by about 14, but at the end of the day, they've been without their full complement of players based on some injuries and, with the epidemic that we're presently living in.
There's so many challenges, of course, in this COVID year as the national anthem being played here inside the Lemoran Center. And Ted talked about the first meeting between these two this year. St. Pete College won it 66-51, and we'll talk more about that as we move forward. Of course, Halifax Health, a proud supporter of Falcon Athletics, is the official healthcare provider for the Falcon Athletic Network. And of course, let's take a look at your starters for this afternoon, and we'll start with the visitors from the Titans of St. Pete College. Domay Zamora, she is really the one to watch, averaging nearly 15 points a game. She will be number 14. Jada McRae, number 13, great shot blocker. Brittany Wilcox, a 5'9" sophomore guard with some height. Number 25, nearly 12 points a game. Kiara Kennedy, a forward. And Jai Jackson, a 6'1" center for St. Pete College. Of course, coached in her 6th season by Denisha Davidson. It's her first head coaching job. She's done a terrific job with this Titans ball club. She played her college ball, did Coach Davidson at Kansas State. And your starters for the home team, and there they are, the Falcons from Daytona State. Shayla Bowie, number 2, a freshman guard, 5'3". Kiana Westbrook, a sophomore, 6'3" forward. She is number 4. There you see Jana Turner, number 21, being introduced right there, a sophomore, 5'9" guard. Blessing Oko, a 5'10" freshman, number 12. And Odette Schlegel from Hungary, averaging about 6 points a game, 5 rebounds a game. She is a freshman starter for the Falcons, coached by Janice Washington. We had a nice discussion with before game time this afternoon, as she is in her 5th season. And, Ted, so many challenges, of course, for all schools over the last year or so, dealing with COVID, all the stops and the starts. But Daytona State finally really just playing their 3rd game back when they have all of their available bodies.
Right.
Thanks to COVID and injuries have kept so many players out, so they're finally at full strength.
Finally at full strength. Really looking forward to the tip-off right now. Looking forward to working with my man next to me, Tom James.
Yes, sir. It's been a little over a year. We are underway, and Daytona State in the gray uniforms The take to the hole by Bowie. St. Pete in the road black uniforms with the blue trim.
You know, Tom, I'm almost giddy from this sense of normalcy that we're experiencing right now. And certainly, really, oh, there we go. There's our first points of the game.
A great take and a bucket by Falcons' leading scorer, Janae Turner, averaging almost 15 a game. Gets Daytona State on the board. And a great hands poking that away for the Falcons. Turner again. Not this time, and the Titans are out of there with it.
We got a fast north and south pace going here.
Quick pull-up, no good from Brittany Wilcox. Second chance opportunity for the Titans. Opening minute, first quarter, here in Daytona Beach. You can just feel it. It's March, Ted.
Whoa.
That three way off the mark from Turner, and she is taking shots on the first three Falcons possessions. Inside Wilcox. How about the defense thus far from Daytona State? Shayla Bowie knocking that one away. She does pick up the foul.
Nice quick hands there. And then, of course, picked up the foul with a little bit of retaliation.
Actually, it's Brittany Wilcox of St. Pete College whistled for the foul right there. 2-0. Daytona State in the lead.
You get the feeling that Coach Brim might have told the Falcons, hey, we need to quicken the pace and see if they can hang with us. Not a bad strategy when you think about it. They're at full strength at this point in time.
Well said. 13-1, this great team from St. Pete College in the Central Florida Conference. Put back by Westbrook, and it's 4-0 Falcons. They're 11-0, Teddy, in conference play, the Titans.
Oh, yeah. Like we were saying in the beginning, they seem to be a juggernaut right now. Obviously, both coaches, and there's an OB right there thrown away. But as we were talking before the game, Tom, both coaches with storied pasts. But how would you like to be, Coach Davidson out of Kansas, first year here at St. Pete with this kind of record?
Yeah.
Kind of bodes well in front of the administration, wouldn't you say?
Terrific job, especially with all the challenges that are going on in the basketball world and throughout the country and the world at large. And there's a quick shot from Schlegel from up top. Doesn't fall, and St. Pete has a 3-on-2. They want to run it. Kennedy loses the handle, but it'll stay with St. Pete. Daytona State coming in 6-7 on the season overall, 3-7 in the Central Florida Conference. Both teams coming off victories earlier this week.
Oh, I see. The Zebra got it right on a non-shooting foul.
That's right. A takeaway by Westbrook. Gets it across. Shot no good. Taken back out of there, and the shot clock resets at 20. And another miss inside. Great defense on the interior by the Titans, and we've got a tie-up.
It's going to go for St. Pete, first one. Arrow going towards St. Pete's offensive side.
Daytona State, a winner on Wednesday. They defeated Florida State College of Jacksonville 84-65. Inside, no good. And the Titans still looking for their first points. 3 minutes gone here in the first quarter.
I tell you, Westbrook is making her presence known already at 6'3".
Inside, and the bucket and the foul as Turner scores and will go to the line.
Oh, referee has changed the call.
It's going to be a foul on the floor, so the basket will not count.
Yeah, it was McCray that.
And it's blocked in there by Jackson. Wilcox outside for three. Zamora Tomei Zamora.
Had a
Gets the
nice
Titans
wide
on the
open
board.
look on that one, right?
Right. And just like that, it's 4-3 Daytona State. Good Schlegel keeps fighting for it. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Daytona State. As you see head coach Tanisha Davidson of the successful Titans team this year. They have been incredible. We talked about their record 13-1. They have won 10 in a row this season coming into this game. Beat Eastern Florida State College this past Wednesday by 5. It was a close one. And all the way and high up off the glass, it's Shayla Bowie.
Oh, beautiful body control there. Gorgeous. Absolutely great shot.
Great start for the Falcons. Under 6 minutes, first quarter. Kennedy on the take. No. Titans with another chance. And they are 1 for 6 from the floor here in the early stages of this game.
Yeah, we got that line here at the college gym that kind of comes down, and it touches either the black line or the wire. Referee must call that ball out of bounds, and that's just what happened.
Yeah, part of the support that holds the backboard and the rim and the shot clock all in one place right there. Titans have got it. There's Zamora. Can't do it this time from the right wing. But inside, and Zamora makes it a 6-5 game. She has all 5 of the Titans' points. Bounce pass inside. Oku, turnaround off the glass, and good. Blessing Oku, she is a freshman from Houston, Texas, averaging about 6 a game. She had a great game against Santa Fe earlier this year. She had 14 points.
You know, you were just mentioning Zamora.
Yeah.
How about her field goal percentage, 42? Not too shabby.
Terrific. Oh, behind the back pass.
Oh, beautiful.
Turner to Bowie for the bucket. Highlight reel stuff, Teddy.
Yeah.
And it's 10-5, Daytona State. Pull up from the elbow, no good. And another one and done.
And
for St. Pete
I am
College.
sure Coach Davidson realizes that she's looking at a very different team right now than February 8th.
Oh, and a foul inside, and the bucket counts. Schlegel will go to the line, and that's a great point that you bring up, Coach Davidson from St. Pete College. This is not the same Daytona State team that they faced a little over a month ago.
Right, right, and right now you can see the, oh, here it is. Oh, look at that behind the back pass from number 21 Turner.
Yeah, I think we ought to nominate that for Sports Center Top 10 tonight. How about that?
That was great to watch. A nice no look around the back. If we had enough fans here, I know it would have brought the house down on that play.
Absolutely. Schlegel misses the free throw, but Daytona State out to a 7-point lead here in the first quarter.
You know, you hear the Daytona State bench right now kind of stamping their feet and saying defense. You'd be surprised how the bench must come into play during this pandemic and, you know, obviously not many fans, if any, in some venues.
Great point, and that's how some of the atmosphere is created. It's by the players and the bench
Right.
because the fans aren't here to really do it.
They got to generate it themselves. It's a self-motivation, but certainly the bench can be the best fans on the, you know, right in the building.
Westbrook pulls up from 16 feet.
Good that, or I should say lucky, that Westbrook didn't get called for an over-the-back foul right there. She is the tallest player on the court, for both teams currently. I believe it's 6-3.
You can't teach size. Inside triplet, guarded well. Underneath, knocked away by Westbrook. Another chance for the Titans, no. And yet another, and finally they stick it back up and in. It's Kiana Johnson, the freshman from Trinity Christian. This is such a young St. Pete Titans team. 9 freshmen, only 3 sophomores on this ball club.
Yeah, it's almost scary what they've accomplished thus far. And obviously they're looking, mighty ripe.
Yeah.
Not only for conference this year, but going to have a great squad next year.
No doubt about it.
And you know how recruiting goes. You end up with a weeding season like this.
Yeah.
Coach Davidson, how far will they have to drive?
That's correct. That's
Because they're going to be coming to Coach Davidson to play St. Pete.
Sure.
And the same goes here though for Daytona State. Coach Brim, obviously here for a number of years now, has since before the pandemic, I had great recruiting tools. Certainly had the Daytona State women's basketball, tentacles out there in various states to bring in players. And, they have been known for a number of years as a winning squad.
No question.
I'm always amazed when the coaches who are, let's say, they're 2-20, how they turn that around.
A bucket and a foul for Westbrook. And it's 16-7.
Right now, DSC is playing on all cylinders, looking very good. And obviously that shows in the score. They're up by 9 points. With Westbrook at the line.
And Westbrook completes the three-point play. She averages a double-double on the season. 14.5 points a game, nearly 12 rebounds a game. And then she'll be double-teamed, as Coach Washington told us. She'll be double and triple-teamed a lot this afternoon.
Well, especially at that size and, like you said, at that percentage. Obviously a threat, and that's how you're going to try to mute it, with those double and triple teams. But that gives you outlets, a number of them.
Terrific defense here in the first quarter. Continues for Daytona State. It's going to be Williams that gets whistled for the foul.
Not to say that St. Pete isn't communicating, but I'm seeing a lot more shout-outs from the Lady Falcons at this point. They're really communicating effectively, and I think that they just have to continue down that road if they want to beat a #1 team like St. Pete.
Such an important statement that you made, and so many coaches are stress how well teams communicate and talk to each other out on the floor. And a take from Johnson, and she gets fouled on her way to the hoop.
Bit unlucky there. The inbound pass actually hit off the net.
So Kiana Johnson, as you take a look at Coach Davidson, her first head coaching job. Played out there in the Big 12 at Kansas State. Here's Johnson, a 6'1" freshman from Daytona, not too far away from here. And she makes 1 of 2 to trim the deficit to 9. But at first glance, which of these teams looks like the one that's won 10 in a row? I think you would easily say Daytona State, and they add to the lead Taylor Williams.
You took the words right out of my mouth, Tom. Yes, Daytona State right now looks that way.
Taylor Williams, what Coach Washington said was a real power punch to the second unit. She is a spark plug off the bench, and she's put in good minutes so far, but Zamora answers with her second 3 of the quarter.
Yeah, they're going to have to keep their eye on her as far as the Daytona State Falcons go. I like the way she just kind of slid on over very unnoticeably, very subtly, and took that three-pointer and, dunked it in there.
Tomé Zamora from Ecuador, Bayshore Christian High School. Inside, and right there at the free throw line, Thompson no good. Final minute of the first quarter. Can St. Pete College finish strong? Inside, and the bucket from Johnson. And she'll go right back to the free throw line as she gets the hoop and the harm.
That was, honestly, that was a little bit unlucky for the Lady Falcons because they were being very gritty on defense. Looked like they were going to have the steal. And you ended up with an end one, as the shoe says.
That's right. Short, well short, air ball on that.
Air ball on that one.
Free throw attempt.
Good thing the crowd's not here, the home crowd of Daytona State. They would have been giving her a little bit of trouble with that one.
She would hear about that.
Yeah.
So about an 11-second difference, game clock to shot clock. And a 6-point lead for Daytona State. That one going in and out from Williams. Jumper is good. Megan Watson, another freshman averaging a dozen points a game, and it's down to a 3-point lead for Daytona State as they will hold it for the final shot. Here's Taylor Williams. Williams to the baseline, puts it up, no good.
Wow.
And Daytona State led the entire way over the first 10 minutes. Saw a double-digit lead, though, shrink to 3.
How'd you like the way they kind of started slicing at that lead so quick?
So it's 19-16 Daytona State. Halifax Health, a proud supporter of Falcon Athletics, the official healthcare provider for the Falcon Athletic Program. And Halifax Health looking for its next healthcare superstar. Find out how to become one at halifaxhealth.org/education to employment.
You know, you talk about a recipe quick mix for slicing that lead down from 9 to 3. My goodness, they did that in a matter of about 45 seconds. And obviously the 3 ball was very useful in slimming down that lead.
Well, and that's part of the reason this St. Petersburg College team is so good. This is a team 13-1, and you think you've got them where you want them, and all of a sudden they come alive and they can hit you quickly.
We just reviewed, right? As you all in the audience back home who might be waffling back and forth on your television clickers between this game and March Madness and March Mayhem, we are happy to have you with us as we begin the second quarter.
Absolutely. Daytona State shot 39% from the field in the first half compared to just over 35% for St. Pete College. Here's a 2 from the corner, no good from Alexander. Chased down, and St. Pete College wants to run with it. And taken away by the Falcons. Schlegel. Coach Washington liked to see her team get back into the groove they were in for really the first 8.5 of the 10 minutes, but they turn it over.
It was the right idea, just didn't pitch it up high enough.
All the way to the hole, blowing right past Thompson for the bucket is Triplett. And Triplett loves to play against this Daytona State team. She had a double-double in the first meeting back in February, 14 points and 10 rebounds. There's a jumper from outside, is short from Alexander. And the Falcons give it back to the Titans. And Teddy, just like that,
right?
Titans now have a chance to take their first lead on this possession.
You think about that as far as the psychological aspect, right? You're ahead by 7, 8, 9 points as Daytona State was. You know that a darn good team like this is going to have their flurries, right? As far as point scoring goes. You have to weather that storm and not get down, not get psychologically down when that happens.
Kiana Johnson traveled with it. Kiana Westbrook led Daytona State in scoring in the first quarter. She had 5. Zamora
for St. Pete College with 8. A couple of three-pointers led to that. Schlegel getting it outside to Turner.
Still enough time on the shot clock.
There goes Turner all the way, and it got a nice roll out, a smooth.
You know, they really needed that bucket because it was about 3 minutes without one. So good fortune there for the Daytona State Lady Falcons.
And a special day for Turner. Her parents are here in from Chicago to watch their daughter play. And all the way with it is Taylor Williams for the bucket. So 4 points in a row for Daytona State to stretch its lead back out to 5.
How did you like the left hand on that? You know, I'm a lefty, so I'm always partial to the left-handers when I see that. And she did it so nicely.
You'll notice the southpaw right away.
Did that shot with finesse.
Little inside-outside game. Here's Zamora, the real star of this team. Can't hit on the floater.
I thought that was a good no call by the referees there. Good job. Both jumped straight up. Exactly how you doing it, textbook.
Long three from Oku is short. Inside, Asia Small is fouled. A local kid, Deasia Small, from right here in Daytona Beach. Homegrown product, 5'9" freshman. Of course, COVID affecting both of these teams and all teams around the country. Daytona State, 3 games have been canceled this season. For St. Pete College, they've had 5 games either canceled or postponed. Yeah.
No, I'd like to think, Tom, that this time next year we'll have full crowds, a full complement of people, and hopefully all states back to normal.
Of course, we are not medical people, but feels like we're headed in the right direction.
That's right.
There's reason for optimism after a tough time. The Titans to inbound from underneath the basket. They get it inside. It's blocked in there by Oko.
Great anticipation by Oko.
Outlet pass to Small, who scores the bucket, and a timeout is called for by Coach Davidson and the Titans. Of course, Daytona State came out smoking. They took St. Pete College's best punch, the counter punch, and the Falcons have now opened it back up with a 7-0 run and an 8-point lead.
You know, I didn't mean to sound so prophetic, Tom, just a little while ago. But I said, if you weather the storm,
that's right,
as they just have, and then needed that bucket, you know, that inside bucket. I think it started with, it was with Turner, and that kind of got them going. So good job. They're back in it. We've got a real hot game here going on, gang. Really glad to be sitting here with Tom at the gym that's now been opened up. We've known now that some states still are not doing or participating in collegiate athletics, but many states are. And happy to be a part of one of them.
Blessed to be here, that is for sure. 6.5 minutes left in the first half. Here's Zamora. She can hit from anywhere on the floor, but not that time.
All right.
Out of bounds in the backcourt. It'll belong to the Titans as Daytona State turns it over. Taylor Williams right there. Rahway, New Jersey, a sophomore guard for Daytona State. In the paint, 14-footer no good from Wilcox. Eight-point lead for the home team.
You know, one of the real positive statistics, although, you know, they're not quite at 500 yet for the Lady Falcons, is that their turnover percentage per game is only 13.9, 14. That is below the national average. So they're really in one of the top tiers there for that. So that's one of the outstanding statistics right now for Coach Davidson and her team.
And they're rebounding.
I'd rather
very
Coach
well.
Brim. Apologize, everybody. Coach Brim and her team.
Williams scores. Some second chance points inside for the Falcons. And it's back to a double-digit lead. Outside, wing three, knocked down over there by Megan Watson.
How was that for textbook?
That's right.
Swing it all the way around, find the open as you're being double-teamed. Zamora was being double-teamed. She quickly, deftly found that outside three-pointer.
And a 30-second timeout being called for by Coach Washington. That was the second three-pointer of the game for Megan Watson. It stops the 9-0 run of Daytona State. So it's really been a game of runs in this first half. Two terrific teams. You know, St. Pete College, we know, watching them play this year, they haven't had a lot of close games. They have dominated teams. And Daytona State, on the other hand, a team that is on the rise, finally getting their full complement of players out here, and it certainly is making a difference.
Well, I remember one of the games they had played in, they only had 2 on the bench.
Incredible.
You got to do a lot of 3-a-days to keep up with the stamina for 7 people total, you know, in your arsenal. That's a rough way to go.
That's right. Williams inside to Westbrook. Shot no good. Rebound. Go puts it back up and in.
Ko showing her presence, dominating the paint.
She has 4. And an offensive foul. It'll be called against the Titans.
Yeah, Watson just stepped out just a little bit to give a little bit elbow, arm, hip, and got caught on that one. Zebras with a good call, I suppose.
Yeah. You know, we talked about only having the 2 kids on the bench at one point. That was a 2-week stretch for Daytona State where they really dressed 7 players. Tough on any team, no matter how talented you are. And talk about talent, Janae Turner all the way to the hole, and Turner's got 6.
Wow, did Turner make herself small and squeeze in there for that bucket? Great job.
3 from the wing. Watson, not this time.
Shot clock still was not affected on that.
Four minutes left. Second quarter. 11-point lead matches Daytona State's largest of the game. And a foul is going to send Kiani Westbrook to the free throw line.
How'd you like the reverse footwork there by Westbrook?
That's high-level stuff.
I mean, just great footwork. That is not easy to do when you're dribbling a basketball and, you know, obviously not taking more than 2 steps to cause, you know, the zebra to blow a whistle on a travel or something like that.
This is a player, along with several others, you're going to see at the next level as she misses the free throw. Incidentally, we'll talk more about this in the men's game later this afternoon, but Oklahoma State in the NCAA tournament for the men coming up with a big win yesterday, and one of their team leaders, their senior guard Bryce Williams, played right here at Daytona State.
Yes, remember him well.
Here's Zamora from the wing, and that's her 3rd 3, and boy, she can dig the Titans out of trouble in a hurry.
Whoa, almost automatic on
that. Oh,
that.
yeah.
Well, I mean, when she's open and has a second or 2 of time, she's buried it each time. When she's been pressured, though, she's missed those few.
Into double figures, Zamora has 11 to lead all scorers. But the Titans still trail by 9, and that one's going to drop in. It's a 12-point Daytona State lead thanks to Shayla Bowie.
I believe, Tom, that was the first 3-pointer by Daytona State.
Inside, off the glass, Kiana Johnson.
Kiana Johnson, again, made herself small to get in there. Good job.
Certainly right about the 3-pointer made by the Falcons. They're doing all of their damage on the interior up to that point in this game. side, Oko scores, and they'll be happy to stick to that.
I think it's what you said is very true, Tom. I mean, it's safe to say Daytona State has really been owning the paint, whereas, the Titans have done great on the outside for the most part.
And have struggled when they've tried to go inside. Not that time, though, as Johnson scores again.
I think that was just a misread on the Daytona defense there.
Johnson's got 9 points. Jumper from 17 feet is off. Foul on the baseline, going to be whistled against Taylor Williams. So we're under 2 minutes left here in the second quarter. And surprising result here so far from the Limerand Centers. This red-hot Titans team coming in here winners of 10 in a row, and they are down 10.
Now, it's funny, Tom, what did you say in the beginning of the game? They were 10-0. You know what happens when they have a 10 win streak going on like that?
They've got a target on their back.
Yeah, as soon as the announcer says something,
well, yeah,
what usually happens.
we take the blame for everything, don't we? Yeah.
It's like watching the football, field goal kicker, 30-yard. He's like, he hasn't missed 100 of these in the last 2 years.
That's right. That's right. And all of a sudden,
right.
And a takeaway by Daytona State. That's the 8th turnover for St. Pete College all the way. No. And a whistle. Oko's going to go to the free throw line.
Just a little bit too heavy on the shot there from Turner. And now we have number 12, Blessing Oko, to take 2. Deservedly so. I think the referee's been doing a darn good job this game so far for both sides.
Well, and Daytona State has spent some time at the free throw line. She makes them both, and that matches the Falcons' largest lead. 40-28. We'll see now, Ted, if the Titans can do what they did at the end of the first quarter, finish strong and close that gap like they did before.
Right, my feeling here is that with the minute and 35 left, Daytona State's gotta
Wilcox
stop the onslaught if they have another one of those, like I said, trying to weather the storm. It depends if the Titans create that storm.
Wilcox first points of the afternoon, and a foul underneath. Foul against Johnson, I believe. Check that it's against Jackson of St. Pete College.
Made it on the front end. Calm, cool, collected. Westbrook is having a heck of a game. Defense, offense, free throws, showing it all right now.
Terrific presence down low is Westbrook as we tick towards the final minute of the half. Defended well again that time, and Solbu had it knocked away and inside. Easy bucket for Westbrook.
They are razzling and dazzling in on the paint, the Daytona State Falcons are. Have not seen all that kind of penetration from the Titans as of yet. Probably the most active player for the Titans right now, number 14, Zamora.
And there is a close-up look at Tomei Zamora. Great ball handler and floor general for the Titans team. Coach Washington employing her team to finish strong here in this end of this second quarter.
Ooh.
And a ball knocked around, and the Titans lucky to come back up with that one. Another shot no good, and a foul as Jackson will go to the line.
I can't believe what I'm looking at the scoreboard. 14-point deficit right now. So it's going to be number 32, Jaya Jackson. Going to try to cut that lead.
And the
Does.
free throw is good, yeah.
And I would assume now, if she makes it or not, the Falcons are going to try to hold for possession here for the last shot.
The shot clock is off. Remainder of the second quarter. 12-point lead. It's Bowie. Knocked away with 10.7 on the clock. And a foul going to be called against Jakayla Johnson.
Definitely was a shooting foul. So she will get to the stripe to make 2.
Shayla Bowie with 4 points. Hits the free throw, and Bowie averaging 8 a game. He had a terrific game against Pensacola earlier this season. He had 16 points.
Oh, I like
and
that.
Makes them both.
Like that ball spin. That's a textbook right there as far as putting that backspin on the free throw. Nicely done.
Final seconds, 3 seconds left. 3 from the corner is off the mark.
Wow.
What a display over the first 20 minutes by this Falcons team. They have led the whole way, and against this red-hot Titans team, they will head to the locker room with a 14-point lead, Ted. 46-32. Pretty impressive stuff by the home team.
Oh, I'd love to be that, kind of be listening to what, Coach Davidson's going to be talking to her team about, being down 14.
Well, during the half, we will talk with DSC women's head coach Janice Washington. But first, we would like to recognize Halifax Health as a proud supporter of Falcons Athletic and the official healthcare provider for the Falcon Athletic program. Stay with us live from Daytona Beach in the Lemoran Center. It's Daytona State 46, St. Petersburg College 32. We're live in Daytona.
The thing that has drawn me to basketball early on was surprising. I went to school and graduated with a degree in trust management and financial planning. And I did that field for a full year. And the coach that I played for called me and said, "Hey, Janice, do you want to come and coach?" And I said, "Yes, do I get to wear sneakers every day to work?" And so that was the start of my coaching career. When I initially went back to coaching college basketball after I had graduated, it was very difficult for me to make the connection with the players, mainly because as a player I was very high intensity. I had started all 4 years of my time in college and we won constantly. And getting the players to understand all of the work that it takes to get to that level was very hard because I was not a very relational coach. And so I started working with much younger players at the middle school levels for AAU and then a high school team in Europe. And that's when I realized I needed to coach in fundamental levels with regards to just basic building blocks. Once I got back into college basketball, I understood that a little bit more. And so now I was able to not only develop the relationships with the players and build their confidence, but get the results that I wanted because they knew I cared about their growth as a basketball player, as well as, most importantly, as a person. So being able to balance coaching results and improving your basketball talent with caring for the player and what they bring outside of basketball is what was the biggest change for me And it has proven to be phenomenal because with the young women that we work with on a day in and day out basis, a lot of times their basketball skill set is far beyond where their confidence levels are with regards to self-esteem, with regards to their academics, with regards to their family life. And so making them aware that basketball is a very, very small percentage of who they are is one of the things that we constantly are telling them. The process in building a team that's my own has been spectacular. I've had the opportunity to go to all corners of Florida, as well as recruit some players from out of the state. We've been extremely successful with regards to recruiting and what it is that we are looking for from our players with regards to character, talent, academic standards, and all of the things that encompass being a complete student athlete. Some of the qualities that we are looking for with regards to recruiting student athletes here to Daytona State College include their prioritization of academics and understanding how important the academic component is when they get here to Daytona State College. Obviously, recruiting them for basketball means that they need to be a pretty good basketball player, but we do take a lot of time to continually develop our players with individual skill workout, film breakdowns, and just one-on-one sessions where we're talking and not necessarily breaking down film, but having conversations about their thought processes while they're on the court, as well as communication with young women. It's important that they understand communicating and effective ways to communicate. I think with regards to my coaching philosophy, one of the biggest things with coaching young women is relationships and making sure they know that someone is there for them. We believe in just instilling large amounts of confidence in them. They tend to second guess themselves sometimes, and we are their biggest cheerleaders. And at the same time, if they are doing something that is not necessarily in line with what it is that we're expecting, then we talk to them and have conversations about that. I wouldn't say that I'm militant, but I'm sure that my players may very well say that I am. But we have a certain standard that we expect them to meet. And over the last, few years, they've consistently been able to meet the standard with regards to representing Daytona State College and representing the women's basketball program, because it's not just them. So the players that come and play for us here are only here for 2 years. And so it's a very quick turnaround from the time that we get them until the time that they matriculate with graduation. And so the most important things that we try to instill in them are time management, prioritization, and what is their why. And so we start with the time management component because regardless of if they're student athletes or regular students, they have to be able to understand how to manage their time properly and what's important. What's most important may not be a nap at that moment. They may have to eat on the run. They may have to eat during their study time. But helping them to understand how to properly prioritize their time so that they can have some free time and enjoy the aspects of being a college student is something that we work hard on. We meet with them on a weekly basis with individual schedules for every single player, because all of their schedules are different. And so the timing of all of that is important because they have to learn that in the 2 years that they're here. Because by the time that they're juniors, they should be able to manage their time properly once they get away from here. They may not have a coaching staff that's as hands-on with regards to their time and their study hours and things of that nature. But that, I believe, is the most important thing, just the time management aspect of it. It's hard though. I really fall in love with all of my girls every single year. And when they graduate, it's really hard to watch them go. But at the same time, I know they're going on to bigger and greater things because they've done a good job of accomplishing things while they're here. And we are firm that we've done what we can to make sure that they're ready for the next step.
Hello, and welcome to Daytona State College, where you can explore more than 100 1-, 2-, and 4-year programs that give you a clear pathway to a rewarding career with flexible opportunities for employment along the way. Visit any of our 5 campuses in Volusia and Flagler counties to see why so many have chosen Daytona State as the place to start. It's all right here. Quality programs, expert faculty, academic support and guidance when you need it, and a diversity of student life, including sports, arts and culture, and dozens of student clubs and activities guaranteed to get you into what we like to call the Daytona state of mind. It's easy to get started on your pathway to success. First, enroll in one of DSC's certificate programs. Some of them only take a few months and can lead to a job and maybe more certificates, like in business, IT, or one of the many skilled trade offerings. DSC offers top-notch public safety, workforce skills training, computer science, automotive, advanced manufacturing, and a host of other programs, as well as performing arts and music production, and don't forget about the amazing exhibitions in our internationally acclaimed Southeast Museum of Photography. Great nationally accredited programs, including nursing, cybersecurity, and engineering, along with surgical technology, live TV production, additive manufacturing, beverage science, optician technology, database technology, and lots of other choices with exceptional faculty who care about your success. Another option is to earn your university transfer degree, an Associate of Arts, or AA for short. This will guarantee you entry into a public Florida university and save you thousands of dollars. In fact, you can keep going and finish your bachelor's degree right here, close to home, and save thousands in tuition costs alone. Daytona State currently offers 11 bachelor's programs in business, education, information technology, engineering technology, and nursing, with more to come. One of our more popular programs is Daytona State's partnership with the University of Central Florida, called Direct Connect to UCF. It streamlines transfer as a junior right into a program of your choice at UCF. Plus, our articulation agreements with other four-year colleges provide you with lots of options. Many of our associate and bachelor's programs offer online classes. Pick what works best for you, online, in class, or a combination of both. Earning your degree at Daytona State costs less than half of what it would at a university. Throw some financial aid into the mix and you can easily fit college into your budget without being left with a ton of debt when you graduate. You can even apply to get a share of the nearly $1 million in scholarships the DSC Foundation awards every year. No matter where you live, there's a DSC campus nearby with advisors, tutors, writing center specialists, all the free academic support you need, wherever you are, no matter what degree you choose. Plus, Career Services provides job placement assistance, and each campus has a dedicated veteran center, meeting the needs of a surging population of military veterans. If exercise and sports are your thing, you'll want to check out DSC's Aquatics and Fitness Center, or cheer for our Falcon teams in basketball, baseball, softball, volleyball, golf, and soccer, where our men's and women's teams have the run of the new soccer stadium, plus our newest sport, cross country. Being serious about your future should also mean being serious about having fun along the way. With diverse student activities, including nearly 50 student clubs, intramural sports, and student government, here you can create unique opportunities for friendship, learning, and leadership. Our new 84,000 square foot L. Gale Lemerand Student Center is the epicenter of student life on our Daytona Beach campus. Here you will find the library, writing center, career services, a dining area, as well as gaming stations and other student-centered activities. By now, you've no doubt got the picture. Your path starts at DSC. Wherever you're headed, you'll find more at Daytona State.
We understand this year has been overwhelming for most of our community. The struggle to take care of yourself and your family. The uncertainty. At Halifax Health, our doors are always open, and we're here to make you feel safe again. We're here so you don't have to hide from your health. We're here to take care of you. Halifax Health. Live your life well.
Halifax Health is partnering with DSC to provide assistance for the education you need to start your healthcare career. Find out more at halifaxhealth.org/education to employment. As we welcome you back live, set for the third quarter, inside the Lemoran Center, on campus at Daytona State College, and the Falcons with an impressive first two quarters. They start the third on top of St. Pete College 46-32. Tom James alongside Ted Sofianos, and what a display so far for the Falcons. Can they keep it up?
Yeah, I'm sure there was a long, difficult conversation between Coach Davidson, who, like you said, won the last 10 consecutively for St. Pete, and how to get back in this ball game.
Hands in the passing lane and knocked away that time by number 25, Brittany Wilcox. Kiana Westbrook led Daytona State in the first half in scoring with 10 points. She also had 4 rebounds. Remember, she averages a double-double. 10 seconds to shoot for the Falcons. And missing inside. Still on the floor and a fight for it down there, as Schlegel is tied up, and it will head the other way. It'll belong to St. Pete College.
You know, here Zamora is with the ball. Some outstanding statistics. Played all 20 minutes.
Yes.
Okay, never came out. 4 for 9 for field goal percentages and 3 for 6 from the three-point area.
And a great job that time in the lane with the bucket.
She's also been a big part of the defensive rebounding stat with 5 there, and a total of almost a third of the team's points thus far with 11.
She does it all. That is for sure. The direction. Schlegel had it for a moment, and a whistle timeout is called for by Coach Washington. Felt his team was in trouble. Kiana Westbrook, of course, averaging a double-double for Daytona State. Number 4, how strong is she on the interior? One after another, taking it up off the glass. Ted hitting the free throws, and Westbrook again, 10 points. The only player in double figures for the Falcons in that first half.
Yeah, but I also like to see how, you know, Coach Brim has kind of spread out the players as far as minutes are going right now. There's been a number of folks coming off the bench. Taylor Williams, one of them with 11 minutes thus far.
Mm-hmm.
So certainly a nice balance there, and that's going to help with, you know, your cardio. There's a great steal right there.
It's Wilcox all the way. Draws some contact. It wasn't called, but the bucket has St. Pete College with 6 unanswered points to begin the third quarter. There is Westbrook.
Still 15 on the clock.
Bowie. A little more than 2 minutes gone here in the third. Titans have come out looking sharp. That three-pointer well off the mark from Schlegel. Offensive rebound, Oku inside, no good.
I don't think Oku, when she turned, realized how much room she actually had.
And a bucket, Wilcox once again. And all of a sudden, it was a 14-point deficit for the Titans. It's now just a 6-point difference. 8-0 run to start the third.
Yeah, that's that storm coming back.
We saw them do this at the end of the first quarter. Of course, this great team, you would expect no less. Up and under. Westbrook is blocked under there. And they're going to call a tie-up. It will keep it with the Falcons.
Good job by Schlegel there, getting inside, and looks like Westbrook kind of had an easy reverse layup there.
The defender caught up to her quickly. Deanna Westbrook, of course, ranked in the top 40 JUCO players in the country. And most of her points, of course, come right there at the rim. She shoots 58% from the floor. See if the Falcons can get her going here in the third quarter. Oh, and talk about shaking a defender. Turner gets underneath to Small, who can't convert. So
great move, just couldn't finish.
Shots not going down yet here in the third for Daytona State. Offensive rebound by Wilcox, and a real fight for it down there on the floor. Watch this crossover. Yeah.
Ouch.
Right out of her sneakers.
My Achilles is hurting.
Woo! Daytona State unable to cash in on that, though. Inside, the shot short, and it's Westbrook hauling in the rebound.
They definitely need, they being the Falcons, they definitely need a bucket here.
Janae Turner. Schlegel. Gives it off Taylor Williams, under 10 to shoot. With 6, Williams all the way, and a whistle called before the shot, Ted, I think. And
wow.
That's going to be a foul against Jackson.
I thought it was a continuation, but let's see how this goes. We have our 3 referees, right? Our head referee, Kiera Negron, Mavette Woolley, and Ron Telot round out our 3 referees for today. So it was a non-shooting foul, obviously.
So the basket not counting. Daytona State would like a basket of some sort. Schlegel's got it. And on the baseline down there. A whistle and a foul against Kiana Johnson. Take a look.
So
as Brittany Wilcox, boy, she's been everywhere here in the third quarter, everywhere, even in the Falcons huddle.
Even in their scrum, she decided to duck her head in there.
Great stuff.
Got to be careful, though, because the referee actually could call a technical when that happens.
Great stuff by our crew to catch that one, and there's Taylor Williams finally scoring the first bucket of the second half.
Hey Tom, how about that? You just gave kudos to the crew. How about a great coverage they're doing thus far for the game and these times of a little bit of, apprehensiveness while we're
100%.
Yeah.
Top to bottom, this crew, Jeannie and Mike and Mark and everybody, all the camera people are terrific, and a three-pointer from Megan Watson cuts the lead to 5. Inside, and a foul called away from the ball. Check that, it's going to be inside on Johnson. Coach Washington trying to urge her team to withstand this early third quarter push by the Titans. 3 ball from Turner off the back iron. Offensive rebound, Williams. Schlegel's out of there with it.
I'm getting the feeling that Coach Davidson from St. Pete gave her defense, and that other half of play, right, a pep talk.
There's Williams on the baseline, a ball knocked away, and the 50-50 ball brought out of there by Riley. Here's Zamora. Jump shot by Wilcox, and she is on fire here in the third quarter. And it's just a 3-point game with 4.5 minutes to play in the third. It was a 14-point lead at halftime. And an aggressive take
Now,
to the rim by Turner, and she'll go to the line.
you mentioned Wilcoxon before Watson. Some much-needed points for St. Pete off the bench. And they've come in with some firepower. Together over now 11 points combined.
Well, we've played 5 minutes and 35 seconds in the third quarter, and Daytona State has been held to 2 points.
Wow, and hopefully for at least at this point in time, Janae Turner wants to say so about that to increase the lead again. So it's been Daytona State since the very beginning with the lead, has not relinquished it as of this point.
That's
at
right.
4:25 mark.
St. Pete had a chance to take the lead in the early stages of the second quarter. Had a possession to do so. They were not able to, and then you may remember Daytona State stretched the lead back out as both teams heading to their respective benches.
Looks like the referees are having a little bit of a discussion.
And we talked about Brittany Wilcox for the Titans, and how impressive has she been? One bucket after another here in the third quarter, and look at her go.
Yeah.
And she's also done it on the defensive end too, and even, a little eavesdropping into the huddle. I mean, it has been the Wilcox quarter.
Yes, it has. Doing a great job so far for St. Pete.
Wilcox averaging nearly 12 points a game. She's from West Palm Beach, a real strong guard out there on the wing, and great rebounder. Gets to the basket. We've seen that pull-up jump shot that she's got. She is number 25, a sophomore, 5 feet 9 inches tall. And on this young Titans team, she is one of only 3 sophomores on the roster. So real team leader out there on what is a young team.
Yeah, and I have to strike that. Obviously Wilcox has started, but Watson generating some points coming off the bench. A little miscue before. Let me correct myself on saying that. Wilcox, obviously the starter from the beginning. And obviously right now the standout, second quarter, first quarter was more Zamora. And now it's really Wilcox with being the standout.
Wilcox with 8 points. Janae Turner.
Nothing but a swish.
That's right. She'll have one more to try to get the Falcons to the 50-point mark. And that's a lane violation against Daytona State as Westbrook got a little anxious there and stepped in the lane.
The only good news for Daytona State is the bucket wasn't going to be made. So.
Wouldn't have mattered anyway.
Yeah.
Oh, knocked away on a nice defensive play by Deasia Small. Ahead to Williams, she finishes. So a little energy now back in the step of this Falcons team. Back up by 6 with 4 minutes left in the quarter.
How quickly did Williams catapult herself from 3/4 down from the court? Wow.
Look at Wilcox, little Euro step, can't finish against Westbrook. What a matchup that was. And it'll go back to Daytona State. Here's that steal by Small, and it's Taylor Williams.
Zamora trailing, did not have the speed to keep up with Taylor Williams, as you just mentioned.
Once she's out in front of you, there's no catching.
No.
And Westbrook, and a foul called. Kira Kennedy can't believe the call, but Kennedy player from New York, from Middletown, New York. And Westbrook goes to the line.
I know that town well, Middletown, yes, I remember. If you've noticed also with Westbrook in this past quarter, obviously 3 minutes 34 left, and the quarter before that, they've been putting more of a body on her.
Yeah.
And this is really one of the first fouls that she's been able to exact from the referees, and then makes the back half of that those free throws.
Well, didn't hit anything on the first one, able to roll home the second one. And again, Coach Washington told us before the game that she expected the Titans to double team Westbrook and even triple team her at times. And that's what you're really starting to see more of here in the second half. .317 left, third quarter. First free throw is off the mark.
I'm sure a welcome miss right there for Daytona State as they've seen their lead stretch to 7.
Megan Watson, second free throw is up and good. She's got 7 points.
Another surprising stat, and I know we don't talk about it a lot, is the number of jump balls that you've seen in this particular game. It's been over 7.
Well, three-quarter court pressure, but they back off quickly to the Titans. 3 minutes left, third quarter. Baseline jumper, Jania Thompson.
Thompson with a swish.
He shoots it 50% from the floor.
Another lefty.
And she doesn't
Just
miss
saying.
it. Hey, you can spot him.
Oh, it's tough when you go one-on-one in the paint with a lefty.
What a great defensive play down there by Williams. Titans lucky to get it back, and look at this ball movement, which finishes with the bucket from Isis Triplett.
Yeah, very, very smart ball movement there with a DSC player kind of went for the steal and didn't get it.
Triplett had a bucket early in this game. That is her first one since. She's got 4. Remember, she had a double-double for the Titans in the two teams' first meeting earlier this season as Zamora comes out of there with it. 54-48. Underneath, it's blocked down there by Thompson. But a foul is called against Jania Thompson. Watch this sequence.
It was basically a 5-on-4, and they found that extra person real quick, which was 22.
That's right.
Triplett. Good job.
Wilcox to Triplett. So unselfish, this team. And Kiara Kennedy can trim it to 4. And she does. Shayla Bowie coming back into the ball game to replace Schlegel for the Falcons.
Coach Davidson using a full court press here, looking for the turnover.
Great job by Daytona State to easily get that one into the front court. There's Thompson. Can't convert, fighting for the rebound, and it's saved by Zamora.
And Thompson a bit upset with herself there. Thought she had an easy one. A little bit too hard off the iron.
Wilcox loses it, travels with the basketball.
It's getting a bit tighter as far as not only the score, but the defense.
It's the kind of game we expected. The Daytona State team finally at full strength against this great St. Pete team. Zamora had it for a moment. It'll belong to St. Pete. Minute 35 left, third quarter. Janice Washington trying to keep that intensity up for this Daytona State team.
Yeah, coach was a little bit upset because she wanted them to run a certain play. She's telling them, run the offense that we discussed. Not 2 passes and make a shot. Everybody gets a touch as far as she's concerned right now, whatever she was holding up, number 1, 2, or 3, as far as the play call.
Megan Watson, there's Zamora. Can she hit her 4th 3? No.
Yeah, Zamora was not, oh, great pass.
Ahead to Small, who finishes.
Wow. Great, see that, they hadn't had that almost the whole quarter with 1 minute left. great court penetration, but that came off the fast break.
6-point game. Not many fans in the Lemoran Center, but a great atmosphere nonetheless. Oh, and a 3-ball knocked down by Kennedy.
Kennedy with the 3-ball.
And it's a 3-point game with 40 seconds left in the third quarter. Key moments right now.
Yeah, Kennedy not known for the 3-ball conversions.
Here's Williams, shot clock at 8. In the lane, puts it up, rolls around and off. 15 seconds left. Kennedy again. Can't get it to go, but the rebound and stick back by Triplett. The lead is 1 as the seconds tick away. Gotta put it up. And
did get it up.
One
Yeah.
sails over the glass. What a great way to finish the quarter by the St. Pete College Titans.
You know, there was, yeah, exactly. I just saw a few Plinko bounces that just didn't go for Daytona State.
Yeah.
You know, and you know, they picked up the loose change as far as St. Pete rather well, and that brought them back. It was their defense and their defensive rebounding that really put them back in there.
That looks like a team that has won 10 games in a row. Now down just 1. They outscored Daytona State 23-10 in that third quarter to cut what was a 14-point deficit down to but 1.
1 point.
We are
1
in
point.
store for one heck of a fourth quarter.
Well, based on the way they've just been burning the barn down for St. Petersburg, you know, 10 wins in a row. Their conference, you know, just they've won every conference game they have.
Yeah.
They're a shoo-in, of course, for the playoffs with the number 1 seed. But obviously, they went with a defensive plan, a strategy that really seemed to pick up the offense. You know, what do they say? The way to a man's heart is through his stomach. Well, the way to get back when you're in a deficit, is go with your defense first. I don't even know if that's a good analogy, Tom. That might have been one of the worst. But my mind's always on food anyway.
Can't argue. Can't argue. And so interesting how St. Pete College mounted that comeback there in the third quarter. They did it without a single point from their top scorer, Dominica Zamora. She still has just 11 points, but it's Wilcox now with 10, Watson with 10, and St. Pete turns it over to start the fourth quarter for Daytona State. Taylor Williams, 6 of 11 from the field. She has a dozen. And Kiana Westbrook with 11 points.
Coach Davidson has relinquished the hold on the full court press at this point.
Tell you what, the shooting for the two teams really tells the story of that third quarter. Turnaround no good for Thompson. The Titans shot at 64% in the third quarter. Daytona State just 21%, and that would have given the Titans the lead, but it will send McCray to the free throw line.
And you've probably also noticed for Daytona State, they have had the ball in that third quarter in the paint quite often with kind of some easy shots. I mean, they weren't, obviously not defended. They were defended. But they missed a few, 5-6 footers from the rim.
Jada McCray missed the first. Now, another chance to tie the game, and she does. We are all knotted at 56 apiece. Opening minute, fourth quarter.
Last time we were knotted up, it was 0-0.
That's right.
You really got to wonder how Daytona State's going to respond to this onslaught.
Give it to Alexander. She can't convert. And a steal by Williams. All the way, the bucket and the foul. Janaea Thompson stepping up at the right time.
Wow, what a statement of athleticism. Here it comes back right at you, folks.
Williams had the steal. She gets it to Thompson. goes up strong, draws the contact.
And Izzy even wasn't, she wasn't submarine. That's when the defender actually lowers their shoulder. But it was just that Thompson got up so high and got caught off balance by hitting the shoulder of the defender. Great athleticism to score that basket by Thompson.
2-point lead. Three-pointer from the corner. And St. Pete College, thanks to Megan Watson, they have their first lead of the afternoon.
Yeah, Watson had a free look. There wasn't anybody within 5 feet from her, and she buried it.
Watson with 13 points to lead all scorers. Inside, a foul. Williams unable to finish, but she will get 2 free throws. Who wants it more?
Right.
Great battle this afternoon to get us started here on WDSC. We've got the men's matchup a little later on between these two schools.
You might be on your couch at home, having some chip and dip, but I guarantee you've gotten up a few times to applaud or to scream at that TV.
Yeah, this is as good as any March Madness you're going to see.
That's right.
Free throw is short. Been tough right now for Daytona State. 11 of 18 from the line. It's a lot of points left at the free throw line. As Williams makes 1 of 2, and we're tied again at 59.
Third tie of the game.
Thompson coming in, Alexander going back to the bench. Thompson, a sophomore with lots of experience. Tapped away by Williams into the hands of Watson. And a takeaway by Bowie out in front. Williams scores easily.
And once again, the lead back to Daytona State Lady Falcons.
14 points for Taylor Williams. Here's Wilcox, short.
A rare miss by Wilcox, a rare one.
Yeah, Thompson's so active, especially here in the second half for Daytona State. Down low.
Coach Washington giving the call.
3 ball from Oko, no good.
Looks like that's what Coach Washington wanted a perimeter shot. She seemed satisfied, at least with the way they moved around the ball, and they got that 3-pointer.
There's Zamora. Boy, they are really working the scouting report on Zamora, not really allowing her many good looks from three-point land as she's so deadly from out there. Take a look at that steal right there from Bowie. Taylor Williams.
Yeah. How about a great lead pass that was?
Absolutely.
Beautiful, no dribbling needed.
And there goes Kennedy all the way and draws the foul. She can give the Titans the lead back with a free throw.
I didn't mention, and you didn't, Kennedy's name so much that first half, but boy, has she really been part of the game-changing effort here by
Oh, yeah.
St. Pete.
61 apiece, and that pass airmailed by Westbrook. 3 minutes gone, fourth quarter. Great job, Williams tapping that pass away, and again, a pass too tall. That time, the hands of Thompson.
I think that was just showing a little bit of tiredness there, just a little bit.
Two consecutive tough turnovers right there that could be really costly for Daytona State.
And if we count St. Pete's, that would be 3 in a row that we just watched. A little bit sloppy here right now. I'm sure that's going to change in just a moment, though.
Kennedy on the baseline. Wilcox back outside. Zamora way off the mark. Foul down low.
Okay.
That'll be against Deasia Small of Daytona State.
Yeah, it was a rebounding foul there on Daytona. I couldn't believe Zamora missed the the entire rim and
She
basket.
sure did, and that's
Whoa.
not something you see from her
Nope.
all that often. Turner comes in place of Blessing Oko. Janae Turner from Chicago, Illinois. We mentioned her parents are here to see her play in person. So excited for that entire family. Here's Zamora. Boy, don't leave her open twice.
Not twice. No.
Zamora with her first points of the second half, and she's got 14, and the biggest lead now for the Titans, 64-61. All the way to answer back, Taylor Williams.
Nice job there by Taylor.
16 for Williams. What a battle. Wilcox along the baseline, no good.
Oh, yeah,
tough.
got
Williams
whoa.
fouled from behind by
Jeez.
Wilcox.
That was a pile up on I-4. My goodness.
It certainly was.
Many cricks. Glad everybody's okay.
Well, there is a lot of effort and a lot of want to out on this basketball court right now this afternoon by both of these teams.
And there you see it. Coach Davidson going back to the full court press. Has had some success with it prior.
Get it into Bowie. Zamora.
Bowie with a really heady fake there. Great move to free yourself up.
Turner, guarded by Wilcox over there on the sideline. Along the baseline, that was well short from Turner.
Wow, what a great move, and just couldn't finish.
Wilcox gets bumped and resets.
Oh.
Triplet. Zamora back outside. Shot is short, and Kiana Westbrook with the rebound.
Yeah, I think if Daytona State's going to get back into the game, Westbrook's, too bad for that pass there.
And a fight for it, and somehow the Falcons keep possession. 3 ball from Turner, misses everything.
I think you're going to have to see Westbrook kind of get put back into this game, as she was so instrumental in those first 2 quarters. Haven't been able to mention her name enough in the last number of possessions, actually.
Yeah, that's right. Kiani Westbrook, 11 points for Daytona State. Under 5 minutes to play in a 1-point game. Off the glass and no good. Small with it.
Only a 1-point game at this point. It's been a lot of fun watching this.
This has been terrific. Here is Small. And it's knocked away. Great defense that time by Triplet. They work it ahead. Wilcox leaves it for Jackson, who scores. Lead back up to 3.
Yeah, Wilcox did well to set the screen as she just kind of laid it off. Nice little play there.
Coach Washington wants to set something up for her team with 4 minutes and 5 seconds left in the game, and that is a full timeout. Take a look at this last play from the Falcons. As Small loses the handle in that great defensive effort by Triplet. Underneath in the key bucket there by Jackson.
Yeah, that was a nice setup in transition. Obviously at full pace, and pressing it down to the offensive side. Well, we got to say the referees have been doing a great job. I have one of them right next to me right now.
Yeah. Make sure you say nice things.
That's right. It's been a very, very good job. And also the sportsmanship shown by both teams.
Yeah, so gritty, both of these teams, but respectful of each other, and they should be. They know how badly both teams want this game. You know, we talk about the first meeting between these two teams back on February 8th. As you take a look at the shout out to our officials on your screen. But St. Pete College won it by 15. That was back on February the 8th, nearly 6 weeks ago. It was 66-51. Daytona State pulled within 4 in the third quarter, but then St. Pete hit them with a couple of quick threes, and it was never close again after that. Different situation this time. Daytona State led most of the game until late here, as St. Pete College has been trying to take charge. They lead it by 3. What will the Falcons do out of this timeout? Oku no good. Possessions, some empty ones right now for the Falcons. It's got to be frustrating for Coach Washington.
The other three-pointer that Oku had several minutes ago, I mean, she was guarded pretty well, but that one she had a pretty good free look at.
Zamora, tight rope in that baseline, gives it off, and Triplett will go to the line.
How about the dish by Zamora? I mean, she's just a threat all over the court.
Well, she is crafty. I mean, to slide by those defenders right along the baseline. She got by 3 of them, and then found Triplett, who will go to the line.
My take on it, she must have some excellent peripheral vision.
Yeah.
Because you're really catching people off guard, because when you look a pass into somebody else's arms, you're telegraphing it. Everybody knows.
Yep.
She does it just from the side of her eye. She sees that opening and boom, dishes it off, and you got magic.
Misses both free throws. And traveling is the call against the Falcons. So some opportunities. They've turned it over, Ted, several times here of late in the fourth quarter, just as they have crossed half court and made some key mistakes that have been costly.
Taylor Williams was actually looking for the eyesight exchange between her and Schlegel, and when that didn't happen, she kind of, just a quick little movement like that with the feet, but, she shuffled them, and that's the call.
Underneath, Zamora finding Jackson. It was a great pass. Daytona State with a chance to pull within 1, perhaps tie with a three-point shot, but they haven't hit many of those today. 1 for 9 from long range for the Falcons.
Yeah, it just seems that to be 3 points out, considering the onslaught that they've faced over the last several minutes, and not to have a point to show for it.
Williams had a good look at it. A little step back jump shot from 17 feet, and it just wouldn't go.
There's the floor general, as you mentioned before, Zamora.
Well, Coach Davidson told us before the game she is every bit a floor general, as Triplett will go back to the free throw line. She talked about her ball handling skills of Zamora. There she is, number 14, a great floor general, good kid. And what she liked about her so much is that the fact there are 9 freshmen on this Titans team, that she keeps everyone calm.
Right.
Everybody's nerves, the young players tend to get overstressed sometimes, and she's the one that keeps everything in check. Great leader.
And like you just said, with the 9 freshmen starting 3 out of the 5.
Yeah.
Wowza.
They're freshmen. They're talented, which bodes well for the future of this St. Pete College team under Coach Tanisha Davidson.
Okay.
Look at her right there, and free throws have been a struggle for both teams as Triplett misses that one.
Yeah, it's kind of dogged both teams, and that's a sigh of relief for the Falcons because they are within 3.
They finally make one. The Titans had missed 3 in a row.
So now for certain, it is a 2-possession game. Well, of course, save for the 4-pointer, which when you get fouled on the 3 bucket, doesn't happen too often.
2 minutes, 8 seconds left in this one. Each possession now, so important. So you see St. Pete College going Going to pressure the inbounds pass, going full court. They get it in to Westbrook.
Trying to trap, and Daytona State breaks out of that trap.
Turner taking it in. Big bucket for the Falcons right there from Janae Turner. Boy, did they need that one.
Yeah, that was one that they've been, to get one in the paint like that, that's been a long wait, for sure. For the fans out there in TV land, and I'm sure for the bench as well, and Coach Washington.
2-point game. A buck and a half left. This has been a treat. 8 seconds to shoot. Ball goes out of bounds. It was off the foot, say the officials of, I believe, Williams of the Falcons. So the Titans will maintain possession, but 5 on the shot clock.
Right, it wasn't an intentional off the leg.
They put it up quickly. No good from Watson. Shot clock resets. What a
wow
extra effort by Jackson as they get a second look at it and they score. 4-point lead.
Yeah, the offensive rebounds for St. Pete have been
Bowie,
one
no
of the telltale
good.
signs. Actually, that should have been called OB because it did hit the black chain there. But,
Final minute and a foul committed by Turner. And Daytona State. They put Zamora on the free throw line. This is her first trip to the stripe in this game. And she makes the first, and she does not miss many. Shoots about 80%, a little more on the season. And this one could make it 6.
Yeah, her stat sheet is incredible throughout.
16 points for Dome Zamora. Coach Washington with the timeout. So sense of urgency right now for the Falcons as they trail it by 6 with 51.7. Accelerate your education by taking advantage of the incredible opportunities offered through Halifax Health Partnership with Daytona State College. If you want a rewarding career in healthcare, find out how we can help at halifaxhealth.org/education to employment.
You know, it's been interesting to see, you know, how coaches, of course, will react to various strategies that, you know, the opposing coach has set up. And in this particular case, it looks like that full court press has really put the kibosh on some of Daytona's offense.
So what's the plan here, Coach Sofianos? If you're Daytona State, I mean, you do need threes now.
Yeah, with 6 points, 2 threes, but it's okay right now to just go in there and get a 2-pointer real quick if you can.
Turner gives off Schlegel. There is urgency, but they want a good shot. They get it inside. Oh, and boy, does that help. Thompson with the bucket and can complete a 3-point play with 35.5 left.
So the old-fashioned 3-pointer in front of us here to cut it to 3, and that would be huge for the Lady Falcons.
They were deliberate. They wanted to get the most out of that possession and not just rush it, and that's huge as Thompson cuts the deficit to 3.
That's a big play, huge play. And you got to think right now with 35 seconds, Daytona State has a really good chance to get back in this one. I mean, they really are in this one, but to perhaps be the victors at the outcome.
Shania Thompson with 5 points, just about on her average. And that free throw was so big because she only shoots at 43% from the free throw line and able to hit a clutch one right there. All right, so 35.5 left on the clock. Titans have a 3-point lead. 5-second difference in the clocks in. Daytona State going to go right ahead and foul.
Smart. Smart play there.
So that'll send Watson to the free throw line. Watson shoots it at about 61% from the line this season. She makes one, and it'll make it a 2-possession game once again. And she does make the first one. So 72-68, but still plenty of time. There's 34 seconds to go.
2 clutch free throws by either end, and she makes both. Wow.
5-point game. So Daytona State burning its final timeout, Ted. They want to make the most of this possession, just like that last one.
That didn't look like a 60% field goal, a free throw shooter to me. I mean, she buried both of them.
Hey.
Not even taking a little bit of time.
Well, you see,
right in succession.
You
Boom.
do see the great players who may not be terrific free throw shooters, but when it gets into the clutch, there's a little something extra in them that they seem to make them when it counts the most.
I will say, though, when you're up a couple of points, it makes it a little bit easier. You're not as tight. You don't feel as much pressure.
Yeah.
But she did very well to bury them both. And, despite what you're looking at right now, folks, a 5-point deficit for Daytona State, it's been a heck of a game to witness. And them going north and south at such a brisk pace, it's really been a great game to be witnessing here at the Lemoran Center and Daytona State College off of International Speedway Boulevard, not too far away from Daytona Beach.
Coach Washington, got to be so proud of her team's effort. Of course, as you see, Denisha Davidson, and proud as well of the fight that her team has shown to come back from a 14-point deficit and now try to close this one out as they have the lead. Williams can't convert, and a foul underneath.
We've seen that a number of times with really a good inroad to the layup and just being too strong or powerful. Maybe she kind of felt that the defender was going to push her a little bit, but that obviously didn't happen. There was a good no call by the ref.
Jackson hits the first, and so this next one will be really key for Jackson because this could make it a 3-possession game. And boy, do they hit them when they need them. 75-68. Racing down the floor, Janae Turner going to take it all the way. And again, opportunity. That's a tough fall by Thompson right there, but some opportunities at the rim for the Falcons, and these shots just not falling.
I mean, you saw it just now. Great, great layup. Everything executed perfectly. Just didn't finish it. And they've had a number of chances with that. I think Coach Washington might be, practicing some layup drills in the coming days.
Well, Thompson, though, at the line and misses the first. Trying to cut it to 6, and of course, okay, so that make and quick timeout is taken by Coach Davidson, but Daytona State then coming out of this timeout. You're the expert, but a quick attempt at a steal, and then I got to believe foul as quickly as you can, and you can't be too choosy as to who you go after.
No, it doesn't matter who's the 25% free throw shooter or the 90%. Yeah. Whoever gets it first time is not on their side.
That's right.
They're going to have to react quickly. And as far as reacting quickly, honestly, I've seen just this game has been incredible to watch, gang. Those of you at home, I know the camera work's been wonderful for you, but to see them go back and forth, you didn't have a ton of stoppages in play, which I really appreciate in a basketball game when it's not so ticky-tacky, Tom.
All right, so the inbounds pass in the front court, and it's going to be Zamora that they're going to have to foul, and of course that's exactly who St. Pete wanted the ball in the hands of. And the smiles starting to show on the faces of the Titans as they try to close out what will be their 11th consecutive victory. Zamora with 16 points, make it 17.
I wonder what the odds on recruiting are with Zamora. I'm going to say that they're trying to snap her up already.
Mm-hmm. Well, she is all world. 18 seconds left. 8-point game all the way, and Williams can't convert. Thompson no good. It goes out of bounds. The Falcons will keep it with just 4.2 left. And I know this loss is going to sting for Coach Washington and this team, Ted, but they showed this afternoon just how good they can be. And a whistle before the buzzer. So it will be 2 shots for the Falcons, but for all intents and purposes, this game is over.
It's always difficult when you're ahead of the game, in the game 75% of the time, and during that last 25%, you relinquish the lead and don't get it back. That's always difficult. I can remember, Tom, playing semi-pro soccer, and, it would be a 0-0 game, but yet we had 90% possession. And it was just that one goal out of the blue. And next thing you know, we're walking home with our heads down.
That's right. Williams knocks it down. She's, of course, in double figures, 17 points.
I think, Tom, with the full squad, though, and showing what they can do to hang with this number one, they got a lot to be proud of.
They certainly do. And both of these teams very respectful of each other, and the Titans certainly proud of themselves for coming back from a 14-point deficit at halftime to win this game by 6. And I know it's a tough one for Coach Washington, but I think she learned a lot about her team and what they can do when they are at full strength. 77-71, your final score from the Lemoran Center. Terrific game this afternoon, and Halifax Health, a proud supporter of Falcons athletics, and is the official healthcare provider for the Falcon athletic program. Ted, what can you say? That's as good a basketball game as you're going to see. Of course, Zamora finished with 18 points to lead St. Pete. Taylor Williams led Daytona State with 19 points. And of course, stay with us here at the Lemoran Center for the game later this afternoon. Pause as the men's game, St. Pete and Daytona State, is coming up next. So for Ted Sofianos and our entire crew, I'm Tom James, saying so long from the Lemoran Center. Your final score, St. Pete College 77, Daytona State 71. Goodbye for now from Daytona Beach.